Hey guys, this is week 4, part 2, measuring liquid with the metric system. Hopefully, you have already watched the part 1, which was over customary, which is over here on this side, where you learned that when we are measuring how much liquid we have, we can do it in ounces, pints, gallons, or quarts. Today we're going to go over and we're going to learn about the metric system, which is a system we usually use in science, and that all over the world they use this system so that everyone uses it together. If you were to go to, say, Paris, France, and say that you wanted a gallon of milk, they would probably look at you like you were crazy because they measured their liquids using the metric system. So over here, we have 3 different units we're going to use for the metric system today. We have a milliliter spelled out here, and when you put the little abbreviation, it is a lowercase m and an uppercase L. Then we have a liter. Now this is actually a Coke bottle, which we're pretty familiar with. And then a kiloliter, which as you see here is about 4 bathtubs big. So now we're going to actually look at some real life examples of what a milliliter, a liter, or a kiloliter would look like. So I have went through my house and I have found some things that hold a liquid, and I've ranked them, put them in order from smallest all the way down to greatest. So the first one is actually, if you can see that pokey end, this is a shot. Like if you were to go to the doctor and you were sick or you needed some medicine from the doctor, the nurse and the doctor will use one of these. They'll suck up the liquid medicine that you're going to get, and then you would get a shot. Luckily today, none of us are having to get a shot. Yay! But if you look right down here, it's such a small amount of liquid that it's not even a full whole milliliter. If I was to fill up this entire thing with a liquid and come all the way down here, that says 0.5, which in decimals, we learned 0.5 is the same as a half. So this whole tube is only a half of a milliliter. Now again, I'm going to give you all through the video a reference to my hand. So you see it's not even as thick as my finger. It's about a half a milliliter. The best measurement for 1 milliliter is a spoon. This would be about 1 milliliter of liquid. So if I take a liquid and I fill it with a liquid, that would be about what 1 milliliter looks like. Now, we are moving on up to 3 milliliters. This would be super glue, so the liquid inside of this would be about 3 milliliters. Here is a measuring tool that we use in the kitchen. And again, it's in milliliters. If we look here, if that 5, that would be, if you filled liquid up to there, that would be 5 milliliters, 10 milliliters, 15 milliliters. Moving up to 25 milliliters, which means, again, if I went back to my regular 1 and I wanted to get 1 milliliter in there, I would have to fill that up and do that 25 times to get all the way to the top of there. Then another one that you might know of, there is a perfume. When you buy perfume, it is a liquid. So it might be in ounces, but it also could be in milliliters. This one was milliliters. It was 30 milliliters. Another thing that I am not too fond of, but Mr. Harwood loves, is hot sauce. And this hot sauce, if you look down, is measured in ounces, but it also gives you that it's 88 milliliters. So we haven't even made it to 100 milliliters. And that's how much liquid then. Now, of course, the 88 would be if this was full and it wasn't like Mr. Harwood had already used some. Now, something that I hope that none of you are having to use right now, a medicine bottle. And when this medicine bottle is full, it holds 118 milliliters. And if you needed to take the medicine, you would fill it up to that little line, and again is measured in 30 milliliters. Here we've got 250 milliliters. Again, hand reference. Still, that is not even as large as my hand, and we're already to a large number like 250. 295. Again, if I was to take 1 milliliter, I would have to do this 295 times to fill up this whole container. Now we're going to some rib sauce if we want some barbecue. 360 milliliters. Now this one, when we get down here, I think it's really important to see that both of these bottles say 150 milliliters. And look at how different they look. Because a liquid takes the shape of the container that it's in. So even though this bottle looks a lot taller, that is vinegar that you put on your salad, this one actually holds the same because it's a little bit wider. So be careful on your quiz. Just because something looks a little different, it actually holds the same amount of liquid. And the same goes for two things that I think these are the two we're going to be familiar with. A small Coke bottle and a Gatorade bottle. And look at the milliliters. 591 for both. Because that Gatorade bottle is just a little bit wider than the Coke. And I'm going to use this as a reference because I'm pretty sure we all know what this one looks like. So now we've got some things to go in our coffee, up to 750 milliliters. Some lemon juice, so 946. Again, if I was to take my reference to back to my 1 milliliter, I would have to fill that bottle up 946 times with 1 milliliter. We are almost to 1,000. Now, when we get to 1,000 milliliters, we don't call it 1,000 milliliters anymore. We have now came over and we have gotten to a liter. So 1,000 of these, and we stop counting by thousands in, and we then take over to just a plain liter. Notice the word doesn't have that little milli in front of it. And again, this is a reference. This is a liter, and this is a liter. And look how different they look. And if we were going to compare it to the Coke bottle that we know about, you can see it is thicker than that 1 liter. And then after we are into our liters, this is a large jug, huge jug of water. And it says that it is 3.78. So 3 and 78/100ths. So it's not quite 4. It's bigger than 3, but it's not quite 4 liters. And look how much and huge that is. And we're not even to 4 liters. So in order to get to kiloliter, we would have to have 1,000 of these. The only way that we could get 1,000 of those is going to be a lot of liquid. 4 bathtubs would be 1,000 of these. Now, I don't have bathtubs in my house, but I want you to guess real quick what I'm going to show you that we would measure in kiloliters. And hopefully you guessed a pool, because it's got to be something really, really, really big that's going to take a lot of liquid if you're going to measure in kiloliters. So the only thing I have here is a pool. If you have a bathtub at home, imagine 4 of those full. And thank you so much for watching the video today. Miss Shelby says thank you as well. Your keyword that you're going to need to know when you take the quiz later on, because you're so awesome and watch the whole video, is Seattle. Your code keyword for today is Seattle. Bye!